What's up, guys? It's me, Emily G, back at you again with another commentary drama video, whatever. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel. I wanted to say thank you guys again so much for 400 subscribers. I cannot believe it. I can, a little bit. I've been working hard here, putting out these videos. I got a 9 to 5. That's a lot. Anyways, before we get started, just a few things. Forgive the lighting in the background. I'm filming in the daytime because my neighbor was a bit loud yesterday, and I know some of you guys have been giving me crap in the comments about my neighbor being loud and me complaining about them. I am entitled to complain. I pay a lot of money to be here. I'd say 75% of my income goes to trying to afford housing, and then I have to deal with this guy all the time. I feel like that's more than reasonable, so I am entitled to complain. Thank you. But as far as the lighting goes, we are filming in daytime, and it's still kind of snowing outside, I think. We had a huge snowstorm here in Chester County, PA, southeast Pennsylvania, you know, all of, I think, the northeast got a few inches, if not some feet of snow, and it's still coming down just a tiny bit, but it's gonna die off. So let me know in the comments how many inches you guys got, or if you're like, snowstorm, what are you talking about? It's 80 degrees here. And where the heck are you? Because I am on my way. Just kidding. I don't like the 80-degree weather, but like if you made it like 65, I'd be like, oh, for the year, perfect. Maybe 73 for the year. Oh, immaculate. Anyways, let's get into today's topic because we have a big one. And as always, I want to preface, like, please do not send hate to anybody in particular. You know, you can make your opinions clear by not supporting people, being careful of where you put your finances to, and to voting and things like that. But like, let's not personally attack anybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyways, let us continue here. Today I want to talk about this drama that recently happened online, which I know I'm a little tardy to the party here, as people like to say. Tardy to the party. That was really hard for a second. I know I'm a little late to the game, right? People were talking about this James Charles billboard that Ethan Klein had paid to put up, and it was a big topic, and then the billboard got taken down, and then they put it back up, and I don't know. I want to discuss it, but again, like, once again, I have a full-time job, and so I've been trying to do some research here and there, but to be honest with you, I didn't have 4.5 hours to watch Ethan Klein's live stream, and so I don't know everything that happened. I tried to skim through it. I tried to watch other people talk about it, and I've got my own opinions still, but like, I want you guys to know I'm trying to do my research, but again, like, I am not a full-time YouTuber here, so if there is something that I'm missing in the comments, it's not me trying to purposefully spread misinformation. It is me just like not having the time to look up every little detail. So yeah, please forgive me. And again, if you're like a big Ethan Klein H3 fan, that's fine. Like, I'm trying to welcome everybody here. I'm not an Ethan Klein fan, and it's not because there's something I don't know. It's because I've seen how he is, and I don't like him. I don't like his personality. I don't like the way that he jokes about things. I don't like the way that he talks to people. That's why I don't like the guy, right? But furthermore, let's get into it because we have a lot to discuss. So recently, it came out on video, I think, that there was a billboard put up about James Charles in James' hometown of Los Angeles, California, or maybe not hometown, but where he lives currently as an influencer, right? That's influencerlandia right there, LA. So I moved to LA. And so, sorry, voice crack. And so that's where the billboard was put up. It was just one billboard, I believe, and I will try to put a picture or video on screen, but the picture is clearly James Charles' face on the billboard, and it says a Kendrick Lamar-esque line of, "Say James, I hear you text him young," which obviously from Kendrick's whole thing with Drake, where I say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. James Charles, right, pretty widely known child editor, as I have to censor myself here because I'm not as big as the H3 gang or James Charles or anybody else. Sorry about the noise. And so I have to censor myself here because if somebody on the other end of YouTube does not like me suddenly, sorry, as I was saying, if somebody on YouTube decides they hate me and I say one word out of line, this channel's gone. You know what I mean? So I linked my Twitter and my Instagram in the comments, and we can reconvene there and figure out where to go if this channel goes kaput. Guys, we're just gonna have to film with the noise. I'm sorry. Everybody's working from home today, so there's a lot going on in the building. Hopefully it's not too bad. But as I was saying, this billboard was put up, and you can see on the, I think it's the bottom right corner of the billboard, it says funded by the Teddy Association or Teddy Fresh. I can't remember what it says, but it is the company that is owned by Ethan and Ethan Klein, right? And on the bottom left, it sources the BBC article that was made about James Charles, basically quoting the video that he had put out saying, or he admitted to texting underage boys inappropriate messages, sexual messages, things that like any adult anywhere with like any wherewithal at all would know this is highly inappropriate, illegal, like, you know, like don't do any of this, it's disgusting. James apparently doesn't have that little bird in his head to let him know what's going on. And so he, by the way, like, are we not going to talk about this? He admitted to this, right? Now, there's a lot out there that he didn't admit to, that people accuse him of, and there's a lot of proof out there and things I should also mention. But James Charles admitted to at least messaging and texting like prolongated to underage boys. He did a video about it. He put the video out there years ago, and then he took it down not too long after he had put it out. What are you doing, James? Where's the video? You put this out. Like, do you take back what you said? Are you embarrassed of it? I mean, obviously you should be embarrassed of it, but like, not the video. Like, we need you saying you did it. You know what I mean? So anyways, that was where the quote was. Like, he admitted to doing this not alleged crime. I mean, it is a crime. You know what I mean? And so basically the conversation surrounding this is that some people are very happy that the billboard is out there and we're like, yes, get it out there by any means possible. And then some people I've heard, probably the majority, are like, great message, wrong messenger. And I agree. I want to talk about this, right? Because I don't even want to say grateful, because people should be talking about this. Like, yes, am I happy that somebody funded a billboard? I can't talk today. But this is how life is. We are real behind the camera. I'm like this all the time, so we're just putting it out there. Am I happy that somebody funded this billboard? Yes. Do I care who funded it? I'm like, hey, listen, I'm just glad anybody funded it, right? But I feel like people are also saying that Ethan is like a little bit of a hypocrite for funding this billboard about a child editor and putting this out there when he himself has made many jokes in the past and many, he says, sarcastically anecdotal statements about things that a child editor would say or do, right? We know that Ethan Klein, famously known as Pedo Troll on Reddit online, had a deleted account from, he claims it was 15 years ago. I don't care. Can we talk about that too? 15 years ago, he had a Reddit account where he posted very like edophilic, I have to censor myself, I'm sorry, edophilic things about children in general and scenarios with children, and I wouldn't even call them jokes. I think personally, if your mind has the capacity to go there, think something up, type it out, read it, post it, if your brain can go there, you are absolutely capable of doing it. Maybe that's a hot take. That's just how I feel. I think we all need to be a little more harsh nowadays. And so he would, you know, post these tweets or say these things, not tweets, it was Reddit. I don't know what it is. I'm not on Reddit. And so he would put these things out there, and he only recently deleted it like a few months ago when people started discovering it was his thing. And his excuse was, oh, it wasn't real. Like, they were sarcastic posts. Like, I even posted about like my children who weren't even born yet at the time. Like, they weren't even conceived yet. And I'm like, but let's not forget, like 15 years ago, you were still an adult. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, which is still no excuse, I think, but it wasn't like you were like a 12-year-old, like repeating something you heard an adult say. It's like, you're what now? 45-ish, right? Like, you're in your 40s. 15 years ago, you were in your like mid to late 20s. Like, I'm in my mid to late 20s right now, and I couldn't fathom doing anything like that or thinking anything like that. I don't have the capacity to go there, as most regular, normal, healthy people don't. And so I really I don't have the time of day to discuss like oh, like, he is such a saint for putting this billboard up. I'm like, does it not feel a little ironic? Like, does it not feel like, let's focus on James so people stop talking about me, right? That's what it kind of gives off. And if you're like vehemently like, no, like Ethan is the best, like somebody needed to do this and it doesn't matter who, I'm like, can we take a pause and look a little inward, right? Because like, why is he doing it, right? He's making it his mission, is what he said online, to attack James Charles for the next year, which I'm like, hey, attack James Charles for the next year, right? We don't stand for that. We don't stand for that, right? Attacking people, holding people accountable for alleged crimes and horrible, deplorable behavior is not canceling. It's not attacking. It's saying like, hey, you should confront this, make an apology, make a statement, hold yourself accountable. So I agree with that. I'm like, let's hold James Charles accountable for the next year or for the next ever, right? Let's do it. But I feel like, again, like, right message, wrong messenger. Again, glad somebody's doing it, but I feel like we can't just ignore the fact that Ethan Klein also has a history of posting these things, saying these things, making jokes about these things, and just brushing it off and saying, I don't regret it. He said, like, I don't regret it in the slightest. Like, it was clearly a trolling account. I'm like, the point isn't that it's trolling. It's that you repeatedly made weird, deplorable, horrible, disgusting, pedophilic statements, right, about these types of things and tried to make it funny, edgy content. And your brain had the capacity to go there and make this up. You know what I mean? And so, I don't know. It just feels not distasteful, but what's the word I'm trying to say? It's evasive. It feels evasive, right? Like, I'm cool now because I'm going after an editor, but like, I also like had some weird like things that I said in the past. And it's like, okay, but like, we're not going to forget about that. I hope you know that. So I ain't going to go fund a billboard because I don't have that money, but I'm not going to let you forget about it. You know what I mean? I don't know, especially when like he himself has not apologized for it or said how deplorable it was. Like, he said, and I could almost quote it, he said, I don't regret it, right? Like, and I'm like, why not? Why not? Like, that's where we get into the, you are messed up. Like, but I don't know. Some other drama was circulating around the billboard because it had apparently been removed for a little bit, right? There were photos of like the then blank billboard people were taking, and people were making apparent like to drive by it, which I think is kind of diva. I'm like, you know what? Like, let's go see this. This is a historic artifact. Ethan Klein, I'll give him his, I guess, his flowers. I mean, like, they funded this billboard. That's good. Great, fund the billboard. But that's, again, like, I feel like that's like Trump being like, let's get the files out there, right? Like, you know, like, everybody wants to see these. Trump would be like, Epstein's a terrible guy. And then Ethan would be like, James Charles said and did horrible things. And I'm like, do we not see the parallels, right? I'm not talking exactly, but I'm saying like there's a theme, you know what I mean? Of people saying someone else is terrible and then they're like, oh, well, I also kind of did that, but it's not as serious. And it's like, well, actually, it's pretty serious. Like, we should look into this, you know what I mean? But that aside, the billboard had been removed and the H3H3 podcast gang, hangout crew people had talked about it on this 4.5-hour live stream that I could not be bothered to sit there trying to go like during work, like with my phone. Like, I'm at my computer. I've got tasks in my 9 to 5. I'm like trying to watch this. I have class at nighttime. I don't have time to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, shout out to my people who are online and have a job. I know that that's a joke where it's like, sorry, I didn't see this. Like, I have a full-time job. And it's like, I do have a full-time job. I'm trying to see you guys. But basically, I tried to skim through this video because it was a very, not clickbaity title, but I feel like kind of, like, his Instagram story said something about, like, addressing who took, we're figuring out, like, we found out, I think it was, we know who took down the billboard, was, like, and I can't quote it exactly, but I think that's how the Instagram story previewed the video that he put online, the stream that he put online. And it's like, am I the only one in the universe who skimmed through this or watched this? I could not figure out who it was. They never said who. They presumed it was somebody from James's team, but they never showed any proof. They never gave us a name. Like, I'm not looking for a witch hunt here. I don't want you to dox anybody. But to be like, we know who did it. And they'd be like, we think it was someone from James's team. And I'm like, okay, but like all of us could have figured that out. You know what I mean? Like, I guess naively, I was like, maybe it's someone from the Billboard company. Like, maybe there was a problem with the payment or paperwork or I don't know. Like, maybe it violated some like LA Billboard rule that I don't know about. But like it being James Charles' team, like allegedly, like, okay, like, but that's not shocking. Like, that's still not who did it definitively. You said this definitively as if you knew who took it down, and y'all never said who. That's the assumption I'm going under. If I'm wrong, YouTube, chat, audience, thank you for watching. And I'm not purposefully trying to spread misinformation. I know that some people have had some problems with that in my comments. It is not me maliciously trying to like leave things out. It's because I couldn't find it anywhere and I don't have days and nights to spend looking for this info. Otherwise, I would drive to LA myself and peek behind the billboard. I would climb the billboard and try to find out who's, you know, stalking behind it, getting ready to take it down. But I don't have time for that, you know what I mean? And I feel like if they knew who took it down, just like put that in your Instagram story. Why do I need to watch a 4.5 live stream, like focused, locked in to find out who you think did it? That's my crawls with that. So the billboard got taken down. Ethan's team said, you know, he said his team was looking into it and they were going to get it back up and they were going to sue whoever took it down. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, like allegedly you have every right to do that. Again, I haven't seen the paperwork. I don't know what it takes to get a billboard up. If I can go on a little tangent, funny enough, I had planned for my 21st birthday, like a few years ago. This was just a plan in my head. Like, never did it make its way onto my phone, into a Google search. But in my head, I was like, what if I did something so stupid for my 21st birthday? Because I don't drink, right? Like, and I'm not into it. I wasn't into it before 21. I didn't want to be into it. I wasn't be like, 21, let's hit the bars. I was like, what can I do that's so ridiculous? I was like, I should blow a lot of money, which I don't have. That's why this was a fantasy here in the head. But I was like, if I had a ton of money, I should like rent a limo for a day. I should rent a billboard for a day, put a smoof on it, which we'll get into that lore. A smoof. I'll put one on screen here. This is copyright protected material, by the way. Yeah, thank you. An elusive long neck smoof. We don't have time to get into this today. The cross between like an alpaca, llama, elephant, giraffe kind of thing, right? Like, I don't have the textbook in front of me. Hold that thought. Okay, I got it. The textbook, hopefully this isn't mirrored. Smoofology, the first edition. Yeah, so there's a textbook, award-winning, might I add. This is the brochure. There's a brochure. I've got a coloring book. There are 2 editions more of the coloring book, 3 now total, thank you. There's a children's book, link in the description. Anyways, the elusive long neck smoof. Where was I going with this? I wanted to put a smoof on a billboard, rent a limo for a day, grab my friends and my cousins, pay for some drinks for them because I know they like drinking. No shade. A lot of people do. And just drive back and forth looking at this billboard all day. Something within me thought that would be the funniest thing ever. Like, just in like dumb humor. Like, I was like, what if I get a smoof? I put a smoof on a billboard. I rent a limo and I just drive past it all day and I just gawk at it. Like, I thought that would be the funniest thing ever. I don't know what's wrong with me. Needless to say, I did not do that. That would also be a waste of gas, a waste of resources, a waste of money. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. And also, like, nobody wants to do that with me. And I'm not doing it by myself. That's lame. And I didn't do it. But if I was a billionaire, maybe, you know what I mean? So that's my story with the billboard. I did try to look into it and like just a quick 1 or 2 Google searches, right? Billboards are very expensive to rent. And as far as I'm aware, and at least where the area I'm in, where I had looked this up, like a lot of billboards you cannot rent out for one day. You have to rent it out for a prolonged amount of time. So I don't know how long this James Charles billboard was set to stay up. Honestly, I say, if you can fund it, keep it up forever. Remind the people, you know, because it is just so dangerous. It is just it's very concerning that the people growing up online right now, who are younger now, don't understand the lore, if you will, the problematic past behavior, I won't say current because I don't know, but the problematic past of James Charles. People don't realize what has happened, what has occurred online, because they're young. And for that, I can't blame them. It's the same argument as like, Emily, you didn't know about, like, how come you weren't angry about the government funding this thing that happened and you were complacent? I'm like, so I was 10, right? Like just example wise, it's like people get mad at you for that. Like, especially if you try to get involved in politics, a lot of a specific side will try to argue that you weren't upset about something similar that happened back then. And it's like, well, I was 10. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know it was my job to look it up there. I was too busy doing my coloring homework in math class in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? And so it's like the same argument where, like, I feel bad for these children who are growing up online being like, wow, James is so cool. Like, he's a funny guy. He's online. Like, he should be more popular. And it's like, so actually, the reason his whole audience are still children to this day is because he's reliant on the fact that they don't understand what he did previously because they were too young to be on the internet or know. And so I'm like, let's put some billboards out there. Let's get some advertisements out there, right? Like, is it slander if it's true? Is it defamation if it's true? There might be some, actually, I wouldn't even argue, right? Malice intent for defamation, because it's not malice. I'd say putting a billboard out there about James Charles, you're protecting the people. You know what I mean? You're protecting the minors, the children online. But again, it's odd to me that it's Ethan's crew. I'm happy somebody did it. I think ultimately it's weird that it's coming from him. I think maybe could this be a little bit of a deflection? Yes. I've also heard the argument that he's going down in views, and so this is his way to get people talking again and to bring people back on his side. And I'm like, am I want to talk about views? I go from like 1,000 views to like 30 views to 100 to 200 to, 90 to wherever, right? Like, I'm all over the place right now because I'm a new creator. But as far as like somebody established with a track record of views, I guess maybe he's dipping down a little bit. I don't think that has anything to do with the billboard per se. I think maybe Ethan is just a very lonely person, which is like, he does have a family. Like, you do have things you can do and projects you can work on with other people besides the podcast. But that aside, I don't know. He just strikes me as a very lonely guy. And so I think he's just looking for his next, like, obsession for the next year, which is going to be, like, let me post billboards of James Charles and get involved in lawsuits there. Which, like, hey, I mean, some people like building miniature houses, like me. I got this new shirt that I thrifted for $3 the other day on my birthday. I got half off. It says tiny house, big happiness at the bottom. And I make little tiny houses. Where was I? Yes, some people make tiny houses. And then some people are like, who can I sue for the next few years? So I don't know. We're just different, I guess. I also don't have a Reddit account that I like was posting like edophilic things on. So, or any account, or I don't make those thoughts. And then there's people like James and Ethan who do. So I find it weird. I mean, I'm just like, hey, let the sharks attack themselves, Let the sharks eat themselves. So it's odd. It's definitely interesting. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Let's try to keep it civil in the comments. And that doesn't just go for the H3, fans crew out there. That goes for like everybody, right? Like, I'm not trying to be super biased here. But I'm just like, people in the comments, I did this video recently. If you made it to the end of this video, I'm sure you're probably like on a specific side here, so I'll keep going. But people recently attacked me in this video I did about Rosanna Pansino, where I basically, to sum it up in the shortest few sentences, I was saying, I think Rosanna Pansino is a hypocrite for yada yada yada, who she's friends with and who she attacks both do similar things. And it mentioned vaguely H3H3. Like, in like a few minutes I talked about them because there's a relation, like somebody knows a person who works here, who used to work here, who this, that. And people were just so mad about the small opinion I put out there. I think it was Olivia from H3H3. And I had said something like, oh, like, I don't know Olivia, like, she's she was or is part of H3. Like, I don't love H3. And people were like, how dare you attack Olivia in the comments? You are so mean. You must be like a snarker. Like, how, like, why are you bullying her? She's so nice. She literally did nothing to you. I'm like, me? Are you guys talking to me? Like, I mentioned Olivia's name because she's involved in the story. I have no opinion on Olivia. Like, I really don't know her. You know what I mean? If I saw her on the street, I'd keep walking. I don't know her. You know what I mean? I don't know. People are just very funny online like that. It's shocking, honestly. But that's another video, a different day, right? So, I don't know. People are gonna be like, Emily, how dare you attack Ethan Klein? I'm like, well, I was attacking Ethan Klein, but I know there's gonna be comments here who were like, you're just a hater. You're just spewing the same stuff that they always spew online, and you've never watched an Ethan Klein video, have you? You don't know him at all. You don't know his age. I'm like, do I need to? Like, I've seen it already, what I need to see. You know what I mean? Like, and again, that's the other argument I have to make here, which I don't want to keep going on too longer, but let me get this point across. People online who are H3 fans will be like, but, like, you have not seen him. Like, you have seen, like, a few clips of him. Like, and that's all you know. And I'm like, let me shut that down, because the few clips I've seen of him are clips of him saying deplorable things, like, trying to defend deplorable things, like, the Reddit account, right? Like, him talking to women rudely, him targeting people. I'm like, I don't really care to see the good. You know what I mean? I don't think, like, that doesn't balance out for me. You know what I mean? It's like somebody does some horrible stuff. Like it's like, let's take James Charles, for example, right? James Charles, horrible track record with minor. Then James Charles decides to donate to a charity. Oh my God, well, you didn't see the charity that he donates to charity. It's like, I don't actually care. Like, that's good for the charity. Like, great. But, like, I still don't like him. You know what I mean? That's the argument there. So, I don't know. I don't want to keep getting into it because I know this video might quote unquote blow up, I guess, in terms of how my views are. And hopefully we can all keep it civil in the comments. So I'll wrap it up. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Civilly, please. I'm begging you. Am I like totally out of left field here for being a little, not even miffed, just like, I don't know, like, I guess it's good to have a billboard. Like, it is. But am I the only one that's, like, a little weirded out that it's coming from Ethan of all people? I'm also a little angry that other people haven't done this sooner, right? I don't have the means to do it. There are plenty other people out there who do have the means to do it, and nobody thought of this. So I'll give him his credit there. Like, at least he had the balls to do it, you know? Like, let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know how much snow you guys got, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks. Bye.